What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing my 2022-2023 NFL season regular season predictions. Uh, and this is going to be a bit of a change for my normal predictions because I know a lot of people remember have been doing the team by team predictions, but with the NFL season starting Thursday, I do not have enough time to be pumping out 2 videos a day. So I'm going to be just scratching all of that. I redid some of the predictions because I didn't really agree with them, and they were a little bit a while ago. So I have made my updated regular season predictions. My playoff predictions will be out another day, but they will be out soon. But I hope you guys enjoy the video, and if you did, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're on the road to 500 subscribers, so let's get right into it. To start it off, in the AFC and the NFC, I have the AFC winner being the Buffalo Bills at 13-4, and the NFC winner being the Los Angeles Rams at 13-4. Now, these two teams do open up the season playing each other, but I like both of these teams a lot. Starting off with the Bills, they're a very competitive team with a high-powered offense, and I think they're going to be winning a lot of their home games as they have one of the best home field advantages in the league. Uh, but I do think they will get some losses to the Chiefs, to the Patriots, to the Bengals, and to the Rams. And then in second place in the AFC, we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs are on a decline from last season. They lost, of course, Tyreek Hill, who was their main weapon on offense outside of Travis Kelce, which will hurt their passing attack quite a bit. But with the addition of Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Sky Moore, I think they'll be just fine, especially with Travis Kelce. Third place, we have the Baltimore Ravens at 11-6, and I'm going to go by division actually, but I'm going to go by conference. But third place, we have the Ravens at 11-6. It's still a very elite Russian offense centered around Lamar Jackson. They added Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams on defense, so expect a good defense in Baltimore. Fourth place, I have the Indianapolis Colts. I'm very high on them this season. I think they're going to be a very good team with an elite defense and a great run game yet again with Jonathan Taylor and Matt Ryan as their new quarterback, which I think is an upgrade over Carson Wentz. Those are the division winners, but I have the Los Angeles Chargers going 11-6, being that first wild card team. This is going to be a competitive Chargers team with superstar quarterback Justin Herbert. They added Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson in the offseason, and that's sure going to help them. The Bengals, the reigning AFC champions, I think will make the postseason again this season, going 10-7. It's still a very good Bengals team. They didn't really lose much talent at all, and they only got better on the offensive line. But with a more competitive AFC, I don't expect them to win the AFC again. And then the last playoff team making the AFC team making the postseason is the Las Vegas Raiders. I think this Raiders team is going to be extremely competitive this season. They made the playoffs last season with a pretty weak team, and add in Chandler Jones and Devontae Adams is going to sure help them. Expect a breakout season from Derek Carr under center this season. So I think the Las Vegas Raiders, although their secondary concerns me, I think they'll be fine and make the playoffs. And then just missing out on the playoffs, I have the Denver Broncos. Now, this hurts me a lot, especially with Russell Wilson, but they have such a competitive division that I just don't think they find a way into the playoffs, even with a great 10-7 record. I just think this division is going to be way too competitive, and the AFC in general is stacked, so I think the Broncos don't make it in. Ninth place, I do have the Miami Dolphins. This is, again, going to be a very good competitive team that could make the playoffs. But in this competitive AFC, even with the addition of Tyreek Hill and Teron Armstead, I don't expect the Dolphins to make the playoffs. Third place in the AFC East, I have my New England Patriots. As much as I want us to make the playoffs, in a stacked AFC, playing the Bills and the Dolphins twice a year is really going to affect us. And I think we're going to start off the season really slow, to be honest. I think we'll win that game, though. But the Patriots, I don't know what to say about them. It's going to be a tough season for us as we are in a very competitive AFC. But I have us going 9-8. And then moving on, the Tennessee Titans going 8-9. I think the Titans are going to be they're going to be a pretty mediocre team. going into this season. They lost A.J. Brown on offense, and with Derrick Henry returning from a major injury, we don't know how they will bounce back, but expect the Titans to be pretty mediocre this season with Ryan Tannehill under center. But let's see, maybe Malik Willis comes in midseason and makes a change. The Steelers at 7-10. I do want them going 8-9. I did make a mistake on that. I'll just have to see what game I have them losing, and I think it is. Yeah, I guess I'm having them. I think I'm gonna have them beat the Dolphins, and I think they're gonna go 8-9 this season, making the Dolphins 9-8. But this Steelers team, it's a weaker team, especially. I mean, they don't really have the starting quarterback of their team currently, and although they do have an elite defense, don't count on their offense to produce every week. And then we have in 13th place the Cleveland Browns. This is a very talented Browns team, but they won't be having a quarterback. Jacoby Brissett will have to be their quarterback for 11 weeks. That's majorly going to affect their record, as I think they will be the worst, possibly one of the worst teams in the NFL through these first 12 games. But we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe Jacoby Brissett can surprise us. In 14th, I have the New York Jets. It's a rebuild. The New York Jets and the Jags at 5-12. They're both rebuilding teams with young quarterbacks. Don't expect much out of them this season, and especially with Zach Wilson to miss some time to start the season, the Jets are going to be pretty mediocre yet again this season. 15th, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, kind of in the same boat as the New York Jets, but I think the difference maker for this Jags team, although they did spend a lot in free agency, I think it's just going to be tough for the Jags to maintain a consistent defense. And with a new head coach in Doug Peterson, I don't expect a lot. And then last place in the AFC, I have the Houston Texans going 3-14. This is the worst Houston Texans team we've seen in the last few years, and they've only got worse from last season. Although I do like Davis Mills as a quarterback, I think they're going to be a weak 3-14 team. Now that wraps up the AFC. Tell me what you guys think about the AFC. But moving on to the NFC. In the 1 seed, I have the Los Angeles Rams. They're the reigning Super Bowl champions, and they are pretty much a super team, to say the least. Now, they did lose Von Miller and Odell Beckham, who were major additions to the team midseason to help them win a Super Bowl. I still think they are an elite team with Cooper Kupp, with Matthew Stafford in that elite offense. They did add Allen Robinson in free agency. And on defense, it's just amazing on defense. You have Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Bobby Wagner. They added Jalen Ramsey. Just so much talent along that defense that I think the Rams will be elite. And then in second place, I have the Green Bay Packers going 12-5. I think this Packers team, despite not having Devontae Adams, is still going to be a competitive team. They have one of the best defenses we've seen in Green Bay in a while. And I think even without Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers will still be able to produce in the passing game, as he is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. In third place, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This Tampa Bay Buccaneers team is going to be yet again amazing. And although they did lose Ali Marpet and Alex Kappa to retirement and free agency and Ryan Jensen to injury, the offensive line is going to be a lot worse. But they added Shaq Mason, and I trust them to fill in the other two positions because then again, they're protecting the GOAT. We'll just have to see how Tom Brady does this season. And I think the Bucs will be a great 12-5 team. In fourth place, the last division winner, I have the Philadelphia Eagles. This Eagles team has gotten a lot better this offseason, adding A.J. Brown, Hassan Reddick, and Jordan Davis. So this is going to be one of the better defenses in the league. And with second-year head coach Nick Sirianni and developing quarterback Jalen Hurts, expect a lot from this team. Fifth place, I have the San Francisco 49ers. Now the question is, will Trey Lance pan out to be a star quarterback? And although they did bring Jimmy Garoppolo back to hope in case Trey Lance doesn't work out, I still think this San Francisco 49ers team can still be a playoff team even if their quarterback play is lackluster. But I disagree. I think Trey Lance will be a good quarterback in this league. And I think 11-6 is fair for a competitive 49ers team. In sixth place, I have the New Orleans Saints getting back in the playoffs. And although Jameis Winston is a question mark at quarterback, I think he'll work out, and I think they're going to be a competitive team even without Sean Payton and Drew Brees this season. In seventh place, I have the Minnesota Vikings making the playoffs. And this Minnesota Vikings team, although they seem to choke every single season I still think it's their year this season to make a playoff push. And I think with Justin Jefferson, with Adam Thielen, with Dalvin Cook, that elite offense, and Kevin O'Connell under as their head coach, it's going to be they're in a better situation to win, and I think they will. And then just missing out of the playoffs, I have the Dallas Cowboys. This Dallas Cowboys team, although it's still competitive, it's still going to be competitive, and still they are America's team. They did lose a lot. They lost Amari Cooper. They lost Cedric Wilson. They lost Randy Gregory. It's really going to affect them. And I think Mike McCarthy's on the hot seat. So this potentially could be his last time to prove what he's got. And then I got the Arizona Cardinals at 8-9. This Arizona Cardinals team's going to they overperformed last season. I don't think they were as good as the record stated. And I think without DeAndre Hopkins this season and just an older J.J. Watt, an older Rodney Hudson, it's just going to be a much worse, weaker team. But no disrespect to Cardinals fans. I just think they're going to be pretty mid. 10th place, I have the Carolina Panthers. I think this team will be a standout team this season. And although they won't be making a playoff push, I think this Carolina Panthers team is going to prove a lot. And although I do not believe in Matt Rule whatsoever, I think Baker Mayfield's going to defy the odds. And they're going to get a few good wins this season. As I love the Panthers on defense. I love their secondary. I love what they have in their linebacking core with Shaq Thompson. Brian Burns, they have Jeremy Chin in the secondary. Dante Jackson. It's a good defense for sure. And the offensive skill positions are also amazing. The only concern is Matt Rule and, of course, the offensive line. 7-10 at the Detroit Lions. And the Detroit Lions have grown on me as I do like this team quite a bit. I think it's going to be very competitive with Dan Campbell as their head coach. He is a winner, and he wants to win this season. And I think with an improved Lions team, they're going to get 4 more wins than they had last season, and they're going to be ready for the future. In 12th place, I have the Washington Commanders. I don't really believe in this team. I think it's pretty mediocre. And although I do like Terry McLaurin and Carson Wentz, I would love to see have a bounce-back season. I don't really believe in the team so much. I don't believe in Carson Wentz. And I think the defense, although they have the talent, they were very underperforming last season. Then in 13th place, I have the Chicago Bears. They're a pretty weak team, and they did lose Akeem Hicks, Allen Robinson, and Khalil Mack all this season, which will be detrimental to their team. And I think they don't have enough talent for Justin Fields to succeed this season. In 14th place, I have the New York Giants. The New York Giants are a pretty weak team. Even with Brian Daboll, I think it's just a very weak team. They are pretty injury prone overall with Sterling Shepard, with Darius Slayton, with Saquon Barkley, of course. They have a very weak offensive line, and I think Daniel Jones under center is just the worst possible situation. I could see Tyrod Taylor coming in. But I think the Giants, they're going to struggle this season. I don't expect much, 4-13. And then in 15th place, I have the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons, I think they're a pretty fun team, but losing Calvin Ridley to suspension and Russell Gage to the Buccaneers is going to be detrimental to their offense. Although I do love Marcus Mariota, I think he's just not in the right position to succeed, and with his only weapons being Drake London, Kyle Pitts, and Cordero Patterson. And then in last place in the NFC, I had the Seattle Seahawks. They're losing Russell Wilson, which is their franchise quarterback, was the best quarterback who's ever came to Seattle. And I think losing him is just making them even worse. They're really unsure at the quarterback position. And although I do like DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, they don't have a quarterback to throw it to them. Their defense is also incredibly poor. So I think this will be a weak Seahawks team. And there you have it. That is my regular season predictions. These are my 7 NFC playoff teams and 7 AFC playoff teams. This is the draft order if you want to read it. And I think it's pretty accurate. Let me know in the comments down below what you think about it. And I'm going to be doing my postseason predictions hopefully in the next few days. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out.